I think we are live. So let's do this. So, welcome to Loud and Clear with Glenn Schick, where we talk about mastering, audio production, and the things that actually make records translate in the real world. I'm Glenn Schick, and I'm a mastering engineer of over 3 decades. Hi, everyone. Greetings from Reykjavik, Iceland. Y'all hearing me okay? Yeah, okay. I think we're all good here. Let me get my comments up on here. All right, we're up and good here. So hope everybody's good. Greetings from Reykjavik, Iceland. It's been a absolute shit show of a summer here so far. We're on rain week number 3. I've been house crazy, literally starting to lose my mind. So if I seem a little off, it's from being locked in the house way too much. So bear with me. So anyway, but I do have New York City coming up soon. So I'm looking forward to going back to my hometown. New York City is kind of where I was born and raised. And I'm going to get some pizza. I'm going to get some bagels. I'm going to do some walking around the city. Going to go see my old high school band, and we're all going to go to the Rush concert at Madison Square Garden. So that's going to be tons of fun. Um, and also for today's episode, as this show is kind of evolving as a live thing, I want you guys to kind of chime in anytime you want to. This should be an interactive show. I'm trying not to script things so much. I did my first bunch of shows very scripted, and I was stiff as a freaking board. So this time I'm just kind of winging things, and we made it all the way to episode 15. And today I thought we'd do some kind of a one of those tier lists, the popular internet tier lists. The tier list I have for today is called "Which Mastering Limiters Do I Actually Trust?" and or Glenn's Great Limiter Tier List. So that's today's subject. Let me just check some comments real quick. There we go. That's weird. Stuff's not showing up like it normally does. But anyway, so today's show is, like I said, limiters. We're not doing like a scientific test. It's not about which limiters measure the best. This is kind of the limiters I've grown to trust and love, and kind of categorizing stuff about where I feel they fit in my workflow. It doesn't mean that they're going to be the best one for you, but I'm going to give examples of stuff. And I don't have every single limiter. I have a lot of limiters here. But yeah, there are going to be a couple of ones left out, and you guys can chime in about anything. See somebody, yes, Queen's in the building and a bacon, egg, and cheese. Yes. Okay, we're talking New York stuff here. Bacon, egg, and cheese is also high up on my food list for New York. So, yeah, there'll probably be a bunch of things that you said, "Oh, you missed." And, the other thing that you might see, absent from this list are things like maximizers. So, maximizers, I don't really feel go in this list. Maybe it's a separate one, but maximizers, as you probably know, different from limiters in that they have some extra stuff in them. Sometimes soft clippers, sometimes saturation, sometimes even EQ and other stuff in some of the maximizers. So I don't think they really kind of fit in with a limiter tier list. Does that make sense? It kind of made sense to me. So uh, if I don't have your limiter on here, feel free to chime in on the chat. Okay. Uh, I think we can talk about like what really makes a limiter work for you, whether it's transparency or punch or the musicality or preserving the transients or if it's low distortion, or if it's just really easy to use, or it's got a great meter, or it's predictable, or it doesn't bog down my CPU. So, with all that said, I'm going to share my screen, and we've got my tier list, which I made on Canva. Shout out to Canva. So, um, let me get the comments back up here. Why are the comments not coming up here? That's weird. I don't know why they're not coming up here for. Whoops. Coming up here. That's weird. Okay. I don't know why they're not coming up here for. Whoops. Up here. That's weird. Oh, we're having a little technical fun. I don't know why they're not coming up here for. Whoops. Let me try to turn this down. We're having a little. Okay, are we back? I think we're back. All right. Technical screw ups here, but this is all new for me. So, we're going to start with my tier list here, and we have a bunch of limiters I've loaded in here. You might see some of your favorites. Anybody spot anything you want to work with first? I'm still wondering why we're not getting comments here like I normally do. That's really weird. So why are they not showing my comments? Can I do this and get it to click on? All right, maybe that'll help. We'll see. YouTuber people, give me a comment, please. I want to know you're there. I see we got some people watching, but I don't know if you can comment live on my stream. So somebody just say something, would you? Okay, so we've got our limiters here, and we're going to start with something. I'm going to start with a classic. So this here is the Weiss DS1. Let me grab it in the right place. Come on, Weiss DS1, and I think I'm going to have to move it like this. Okay, so we're going to move it up here. And the Weiss DS1 was my first. Oh, I haven't put it into place yet, so let's leave it off on the side yet. The Weiss DS1 was a hardware piece I actually had that is now ported to software. And Daniel Weiss is a brilliant audio designer. Okay, thank you, Tawanda. It's there. So Daniel Weiss is a brilliant designer, gear guy. He made some of the early mastering consoles, and his stuff is just incredible. So the DS1 Mark II, which is to most people a compressor, I think that Softtube makes, but it is also a limiter, which people I think don't really know that well. So I'm going to say for those people that haven't used it before, you should really check it out. It's a really nice piece. And where we're going to rank this today, let's see. So I'm not going to put it in my Hall of Fame, although it's definitely worthy of that. My next one down is trusted choice. So something that I know. Yeah, we should go over the categories too here. So I've got in the top one my Hall of Fame, which is a limiter that I would always be happy to have. Doesn't mean it's the one I'm going to always choose. None of these mean the one I'm always going to use. They're going to be different limiters for different songs and different artists and different genres. So with that said, Hall of Fame is my top category here. Stuff that I couldn't really live without. Number two is trusted choice, which means like I'd have no problem grabbing that. Number three would be situational. So just for the right gig, that would be that. The one underneath that, which is kind of close to that, would be a useful tool. Something I could use for something, maybe not often. And then the last category, the bottom one, would be not in my workflow, which does not reflect on that this is a bad piece of software, but it's just not for me. Okay. Um, so I'm gonna find a spot for this. We're gonna go into, I'm gonna say trusted, or I'm kind of in between these two. They're between trusted choice and situational. Since you can use it as a compressor, I'm gonna say situational, because it's also an excellent compressor. And I don't just use the limiter function. This is from Delight over here. Why is my mouse not moving there? Let's see. There we go. There we go. So he was asking if I just use the limiter function of the DS1. No, I also like the compression. So the DS1 is the first one on our list. We've made one. Hooray. And we'll go to number 2 here. So back to our gallery of limiters here. Anybody want to pull one next here? Anybody want to pull another one? Oxford, we got somebody here. So let's pull the Oxford. So, whoops, stop that. All right. Oxford limiter. Let's bring it up there and let's go back to our tier list. So, an Oxford was another early piece of software that I started using. Let me grab my little drinky here. So that was one of the earlier, when I was transitioning from hardware to software, one of the pieces that I early on kind of adopted and liked. Um, but I have to say, even though I think it's a good limiter, it's not really in my workflow anymore. So not to like, diss the Oxford, but I think there's been better stuff that's come along since then. And, it's not a bad limiter. It's just not really in my workflow anymore. So there we go on number 2. Uh, okay, we got a question here. Let me go back up to there. So have I tried the new Softtube or Weiss DS5? And what's some of the techniques you'd use the DS1 compression for? Advanced techniques. So the DS1 compressor is a really transparent compressor. So I would use it anywhere I'd want some really non-character compression, very, very transparent. If you do it subtly, you can barely tell it's even on there. It's a great compressor, just really no qualms. But I haven't tried the DS5 yet. I think it's just like an expanded version. So, nope, I'm looking forward to trying it. So we will go on to the next one. So the Oxford, not in my workflow. Let's go on in the gallery here. What shall we pick next? Anybody want to pick one? Can I make the screen a little bigger? I don't think I can here. If I go into presentation mode on here, I can't grab the stuff anymore. So I'm sorry, kind of bear with me on that. Let's pick another one here. Let's go with invisible limiter. All right, invisible. And I got to clear my throat here. 1 second. Okay, getting the dry throat. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, I do like the Oxford, and I don't have a problem using it. It's just it's not really in my workflow anymore, like I said. So we've got the invisible limiter. And the invisible limiter, I was kind of late to the game with that. It's a really, really nice limiter. And I think I would say I would put this in the use. Whoops, come on up. Let me grab it from here. Um, there we go. Into the useful tool category. So I would definitely use this. It's not for every situation. but I really do like it, and I think it's an excellent limiter. All right, we've got more requests for different limiters here. So from KKK, he wants the Pro L2. So let's do that. All right, where's my Pro L2? Here we go. Move it up. Pro L2. All right. So FabFilter. FabFilter, as we know, makes some great stuff. They are, I think, out of all the plugin companies, one of the ones that's always in everybody's like top drawer. Everybody loves their EQ and compressor. And I would have to say that the L2 would have to be um, kind of in that category too. It's one of those ones that I would say would probably either be in my Hall of Fame or trusted choice. Hmm. That's a tough one. I'm gonna go Hall of Fame on this. This will be our first Hall of Fame. So the L2, it really is a versatile, great tool. Does several styles of limiting, transparent or punchy. It's a really good tool, really well made, good on your CPU. I think it deserves a Hall of Fame. So let's see what else we got here. Hi to all the people, by the way. Hey, James. Thank you, Nightcrawler. What's up, people? Yeah, I think we're going to do this like more just casually. You guys can chime in anytime you want. This is kind of just like a audience participation. This should be a chill thing. So, anytime you've got questions, even if it's not about today's subject, just throw it in there. I'm not going to ignore you. I promise. Unless it's a really goofy question, and then I definitely won't ignore you. All right, we're gonna go back on the limiter list. I'm gonna grab this one. This is the PSP Xenon, and I like this limiter. It's a good limiter. It's kind of a pretty simple limiter. Um, I would have to say I'm gonna put this into situational. It's got a certain character. If it was in the right place, I would go for it. So I'm going to put that into situational for the PSP Xenon. Anybody want to argue with me on these? I know one guy is Eric is all for the Oxford here, but uh, yeah, and we've got some agreements on the Fab filter. So thanks for supporting me, guys and gals. All right, we're gonna go back to the gallery here, and let's pick another one. Let's go with something new and controversial. All right. So this is a brand new limiter, and let's get this all in frame here. This is the Uni L, I think it's called, and it's from Tone Projects. And I've only really had a workout with this on the demo, so I will give you my honest evaluation. Um, I had a demo of this, and it kept crashing on me. I did get to work it. I did get to use it a bit. I thought it sounded pretty good, but as it was crashing in my Wave Lab a bunch, and I know they've done some updates, and I'm not by any means dissing the company because I think they probably make some great stuff. This limiter has a ton, and I mean a ton of options on it. It's almost a little overwhelming, actually. So if you're not a tweaker, this would definitely not be the limiter for you. But from what I heard of it so far, it sounded really good. It was fairly transparent if you said it right, and can be tweaked to all kingdom come. So I'm going to say this is at now a useful tool. Um, it's not something that I can put into my setup at the moment because it's not cooperating, and I will wait till they kind of come out with a further release. But I think it's an interesting possible future product. Um, yeah, we're talking about Unisum. I think the same company, um, and I've uh, I've got good hopes for this. I think this will turn into a better product as they kind of move along here. So, what's up, folks? Anybody got any other specific ones for request here? Let's look back at the ones we have left. So Daniel was saying here, let's get his comment up. So he said it's the loudest limiter on the market, but I'll tell you honestly, Daniel, I don't really care about loudest. Loud is not what I'm trying to accomplish usually. So, I rarely use more than like 1 or 2 dBs of any limiter at the most extreme. So, loudest, I don't care about. So, and somebody asked about Crafter. Crafter is not a limiter. Crafter is a clipper and does some other saturation. And again, anything that's not a limiter, I've left off of this list. So, but Crafter is really a clipper. So, all right, back to the list here. So, let's grab another one. Let's take a oldie but goodie here. So let's bring that up. All right, what I've grabbed here, if you can't see, I wish you could see this a little better. Wish I could make it a little bigger. I could make these a little bigger and then shrink them back down. But this is the TDR Tokyo Dawn Lab, TDL Tokyo Dawn Labs GE6 limiter, and it's a really fantastic piece of software. Um, I think, this does not get enough love. It's got a lot of modules you can see on there. It's got, a high frequency limiter, and I have to say before, Schwab Digital came out with their high frequency, high FAL limiter. This was really the one to get. So it's got the high frequency limiter, it's got a compressor in there, and it's got the limiter. And they all are good and they all are interactive. And even though I said we're talking strictly limiter, I'm going to treat this as if it was only a limiter. But because of all the extra stuff this does, um, I'm going to put this in my Hall of Fame. There, I said it. Tokyo Dawn Labs, Hall of Fame. It's a classic and for a reason. All right, so let's continue on. What else we got left? Let's go this one. All right, this is from my friends at Plugin Alliance, and I'll make it a little bigger so you can see it. This is the BX limiter, and the BX limiter is, I think, also kind of a sleeper. Um, and I don't know if you guys heard the news today, but Dirk Ulrich, who was the former owner, him and his brother Mark, of Plugin Alliance, and then it got sold to Native Instruments. And now today he's bought it back. So congratulations to Dirk. And I'm looking forward to hearing from him again and working with Plugin Alliance. But yeah, this is the BX limiter. It's it's a good piece. It's a really simple good piece. When you don't want to fuss with something and you want it to be just kind of a transparent good limiter, this is a solid piece. So I'm going to put this. Let me shrink it back down. Oh, it won't fit in there. Let's try shrinking it even more. It's teeny tiny. You won't see this later, but whoa, did I kill it? That is the BX limiter in my trusted choice category. All right. Let's see. We got some questions in the meantime. Let's pepper this in with the questions. All right. Let's go this one first. from D-Light. Let's bring this up on the board. Do you use more than one clipper limiter on on any given song to achieve the loudness you need? This is dependent. Um, Occasionally, yes, not always. So when you start adding multiple limiters or multiple clippers, you also add multiple artifacts. So it depends. As I've talked about in mastering before, one of the big qualities you want is preservation or enhancement. And if you're going for preservation, that's definitely not going to be two limiters, two clippers kind of gigs. So um, anyway, so, where were we? Yeah, we put the BX limiter in trusted choice, and we're gonna go back to our little gallery here. So let's see what we got left here. Let's pull another one here. Come on. Alright, we're pulling this one in. This is another sleeper. So this is from my friends at Acoustica Audio, and this is their limiter called Lace. And Lace is a really powerful, really good limiter. Um, I'm gonna definitely just put this right into my trusted choice category. It's a solid, solid performer and one I will grab, happily anytime. So, um, and it's got, like, also, a bunch of different, character I don't know who they're kind of emulating on it, but, you can pick from a bunch of different characters of the limiter, so you can kinda change the tonality a bit. So, it's kinda cool in that. It's more than just transparent, punchy, warm, the usual suspects. So, let's see what we got here. I'm checking the Instagrammers. I'm not forgetting about you. Ozone. All right, let's do ozone next. I think I put that in here. It's one of these ozone. Can't see. Hold on, let me see what I got here. No, that's not ozone. That's not ozone. Did I not put ozone? I don't think I did. I'm sorry, guys. Ozone makes a good limiter. I wish I put it in this list, but I didn't. I probably would have put it somewhere in the situational to trusted choice. Um, I'd say trusted choice it would have gone in. So imagine ozone was here. uh, and we're not talking about the maximizer. I'm just talking about their limiter. Maximizers, like I said, we're uh, not really talking about using maximizers in this tier list because maximizers add more stuff, saturation, clipping, and that's not really fair to kind of compare those products. So anyway, I'm kind of glad I left it off then. So let's pull another one up. All right, I got this one. Let's bring it on up. All right, we got this is from Sonable, and this is their smart limit, or is there a number on it now, like smart limit 3 or some silly thing? Anyway, it's their Sonable smart limit. Um, I think their stuff is really boss. It's well designed, it's musical. Um, the thing I find with smart limit is you need a little bit of knowledge to kinda bring out the best, because if you use kind of the auto features on there, you can get artifacts like pumping and things like that. So, I think, it's an excellent, excellent thing, and I'm gonna put it in my trusted choice category. Let me make that a little smaller so I don't crunch everybody. All right, trusted choice category for the Sonimal Smart Limit. But again, fantastic limiter. Uh, Shin, my friend from Korea. Annyeonghaseyo, my friend. Uh, Fantastic mixer, by the way. Does a lot of your favorite K-pop. Um, and I see we've got Justin on Instagram. Uh, do I ever use the DMG Limitless? Let's talk about it. There, my friend, is the DMG Limitless. All right. This one is, I would say, one of the mastering engineers' favorite limiters. Um, it's one that I think is super tweakable, very transparent, really has everything you could want in a limiter. Um, it's great. It's really good. I'm going to put it in my Hall of Fame. So, Justin, I hope that answers your question. Justin, a fine mastering engineer from Mystery Room Mastering. Give you the plug here. Um, let's see what else we got here. Anybody else got one that they want up there? Uh, what does that mean? Benny Glenn Schick greatest mastering projects. I don't know what that means. All right. So yes, I do use DMG sometimes, and it's excellent piece of gear. So let's continue. We've got 3 left. All right, let's pull this one here. So when I was in Abbey Road, maybe 3 months ago, a mastering engineer friend of mine turned me on to this particular limiter, and it's also from the Invisible family, the Japanese-made Invisible limiter. But this is another product of theirs called the G2, and I think it even sounds better than the Invisible limiter, which is this guy here. And as such, I'm going to put it into my trusted choice category. It is not for everything, but it is really good. So, in the choice category, we have the Invisible G2. All right, got a couple more left, guys. You hanging in there with me? Anybody got any questions? Oh, we got Alvin and Calvin, the king of donuts. If you ever are in Atlanta, go to Randy's Donuts and get these guys paid because they just opened a fantastic franchise there. All right, Daniel, I'm going to put your comment on the screen here. So you're going to hear the wah, 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 wah. I did not get a copy of Voxengo Elephant. I've heard nothing but good things about it. I can't judge it because I haven't given it a run. So my apologies to the Voxengo folks. I missed you on this. I'm happy to review it at some time if you want to send it to me. So if you have a friend at Voxengo that wants to send me Elephant, send it on down and I'll happily give it a review. So, but in the meantime, I've just only heard good things about it. So sorry about that, Voxengo. All right, let's see what we got left here. Did we get everybody here? Yeah, we did. Invisible Limiter made it to trusted choice for their G2, and their regular one made it to useful tool. So thanks to my buddy at Abbey Road. 2 limiters left, guys. 2 left. What up, transporters? Brooklyn in the house. Not Brooklyn, I think you're in the Bronx, sorry. And I'll be in New York soon. All right, I'm gonna pull this one up here. So this one is from our friends at Newfangled Audio, and it is a really, you know, jam-packed, almost shouldn't be in here because it's got a suite of stuff in there. So it's kind of unfair to just call it a limiter. And by my own definition, I probably should have left this out, but I think it deserves a mention. It's got a clipper unit, which you don't have to use, and also EQ and some other stuff in separate modules that are all built in to the this Elevate platform. So I'm going to just put this in my trusted choice because I think it's a great piece of software, and I think their limiter in there is excellent. And when you're using it as designed, it makes a great limiter. So that goes in the trusted choice. And we have one left, I think. Yep, there's the one left. And so to be fair, I did a show about this. I think it was like episode like 5 or 6 on this particular limiter, and it's from a company called Natural, and they are making something called the AL1. which I was, I got it. One of the developers kind of got in touch with me and said, "Hey, you want to check out our limiter?" And I went, "No, I have enough limiters. I mean, look at all this stuff. There's already way too many limiters. I don't want to have to choose from 30 limiters every time I decide on a project." But they were like, You should really check it out. It's not like the other limiters," which is like, yeah, sure. But they were right. It was not like the other limiters. It has a different character. It's not kind of going for like the loud thing like some of the other limiters, and instead was going for more natural sound and was more focused on letting like transients breathe and things like that. So I'm really impressed with this limiter. I use it quite a bit. Whoops, I'm stretching it. And I'm going to put this in my Hall of Fame. And there we go. We have them all. Oh, my friend in Korea said it's 4:30 a.m., which means you're probably just getting finished mixing there. My God, those K-pop people work you hard. Yep, I bet they are. So anyway, so that's the list. That's the tier list. Let me know out there what stuff you think deserved this and what didn't deserve it. So I've got my Instagram over here. I'm checking you guys out. I'm making sure I'm not ignoring your stuff. And I've got my YouTube folks here. Excuse me. And yeah, do you guys have any feelings about this? You're welcome, Delight. Happy to do this. I like hanging out with you guys and, like, talking about stuff, so if you got any questions about anything, if you wanna argue with me on where I put these, if you wanna say, "You forgot this, you son of a bitch," you can say that. I'm okay with that. So, anybody else got any, questions, comments? Boren says 25, 2K and just limiters. Yes, there's probably more than that. So KKK is asking, oh, he's asking about Ken Carson. I'm getting a lot of Ken Carson and Cardi questions. And honestly, it's not that I want to not answer you, but um, I'm going to just stay away from that for right now because it's kind of eating up all of my bandwidth right now. I get hit with this constantly about Ken and Cardi. So I'm going to hold off on talking about that for right now. Um, got some comments from Adam here. Let's get up there. Uni-L can be used in a simple, straightforward way. No need to overcomplicate it. And Tokyo Dawn is great for catching true peaks. Yeah, I like the Uni-L from what I heard, Adam. It's a really good sounding limiter. I have not had enough time with it. And like I said, it was crashing on my Wavelab. And I think that was just me. But, for me, reliability is high on my list. And I need something that I can always know is going to come up every time. So for right now, I'm going to hold off until they get a couple releases in. So I think, excuse me again. I think the ozone maximizer we talked about earlier, Linda mastering ozone again. It's more of a maximizer than a limiter, and anything that's a maximizer, I kind of left off this list. On purpose because it's kind of tipping the scales when you add stuff like soft clipping and limiting and all that onto it. So I don't think it was fair to kind of put it in there. Anybody else? So my friend Shin was asking, let's show his comment. What are the main advantages of the AL1? So I actually did a little comparison with another engineer friend here who's an amazing mix engineer here in Iceland. and we AB'd the AL1 with the Pro L2, and they both sounded really good. I would say the AL1 to me sounded more musical, and the L2 sounded a little more kind of sheeny to me. And I tried a few different settings. You can adjust them and you can get them pretty close, but I preferred the AL1 maybe for more natural. I again hate to use their their term for their company, but it actually fits in this case. So uh, Daniel was asking, has anything changed in the last couple of years in your mastering chain? Daniel, stuff changes in my mastering chain daily, weekly. Uh, it's a constant evolving thing. Every project, I pull in different stuff or pull out different stuff. So there's nothing that kind of remains constant. If is the only constant. That makes sense. All right. So we have a late DS1 question here. Uh, the DS1 Mark III is situational. Uh, Mr. Linde Mastering. I know I'm killing that pronunciation. Sorry. Um, the DS1 is a compressor by nature. So for situations that need a compressor, that is situational. When you want to set it as a limiter, you can set it as a limiter. So it is situational, not for every single thing. I wouldn't grab the DS1 for every job. So uh, True Peak. All right, there's a good one, KKK. Let's so I personally think True Peak is a total waste of time for most people, and I think it sounds like poo poo. So I keep True Peak off. Uh, why would you keep True Peak on? True Peak? No, no, no. And some things have them built in, like the BX one. Sorry, the throat was drying out here. Um, Shin, I'm going to go with the AL1. So the AL1 was definitely it's not a loudness machine. It actually starts distorting at a certain point. But if you need a couple dB of loudness and you want to kind of maintain like the transients and things like that, I don't know of much better right now. It's just really uh, sounds great. You know, if you're looking for like something to jam, like 5 or 6 dB of limiting, the AL1 is not your guy. Although he has a new engine he's trying out from what he told me, but I haven't heard that yet. And uh, your mileage may vary, and your stuff may vary depending on the program material. So with the stuff like K-pop, that's already pretty compressed and all that. So I would say I don't know, just try it. Get a demo or DM me and I'll get you in touch with them. All right. Daniel asks, do you leave some headroom like -3 dB or 5 dB on output for streaming devices when you're not using True Peak? I do. You need to. So, ba-do-do-do. Transporters. Yes, we already did the FabFilter limiter and it made Hall of Fame. All right. Anybody else got anything? I really appreciate everybody showing up tonight. Adam says he hated True Peak until hearing the TDL. It's completely transparent. Huh. I'll have to go back and take a listen to that again, Adam, because, you know, I don't really see a need for True Peak. It's just not necessary. I don't really know any mastering houses that use True Peak. I just don't. What's the point? Um, Somebody's asking about a Massey. I haven't heard this Massey. I used to have a hardware uh, Massey, but no, I don't know the software. So sorry, Corvus. Anybody else? We got just a couple more minutes I'm gonna give you guys. I really appreciate y'all tuning in today. I'm enjoying doing these live streams, especially like talking to everybody, because that's kind of what makes this cool. This is the lowest production value show on the internet. I just wanted to say thanks for tuning into the horrible production values. So we're trying to go as low as possible. There's no editing, there's no screenshots, there's no fancy stuff. It's just an idiot talking to you for whatever 40 minutes now and talking about audio and audio crap. So uh, I hope you're kind of getting something out of this because it's fun for me. All right, I think we're good then. I don't see any more questions. No more questions. All right. I think I'm gonna hang this up from here. I appreciate all you tuning in. Do the subscribe thing because I still have really bad numbers, and I'm trying to get it up there a little bit. So I'd appreciate it. Oh, we got more questions that are coming in here. I'm gonna get any questions I can get in here. Do you think overs above 0 dB penalize music loudness wise on streaming platforms, or besides the increased distortion, it doesn't have any impact on loudness normalizing? Uh, I think I don't know enough about the specific platform differences on where they're normalizing triggers, but from what I've heard, um, like if you have just intersample overs from like 0 dB, but not like peaking stuff, it doesn't really make any difference. And I've heard like a few people I've seen have had like major peaking stuff that still sounded pretty okay. So I think it's more about the quality of the mastering and what kind of transients are left and how much compression is on everything than specifically trying to match that threshold. So uh, Tani was asking if I use any waves. Nope, I don't use any waves because they're all subscription-y stuff, and I don't buy into subscriptions. Subscriptions suck. All right. Thank you, Corvus. I appreciate it. Anybody on the Instagram? Nope. Same thing, asking about waves. Uh, Here we got another question from Corvus. Do you use any tools to preview what you master will sound like once the streaming converters as a compressed format? Corvus, I don't. Um, I've just got a lot of experience, and I kind of know what things are going to sound like, so I don't really need to do any of that stuff. But if you're starting out, they have a bunch of things that can kind of give you a preview of what that would sound like. But I think my stuff sounds pretty good on streaming services. So, nope, I don't use any of that stuff. And on that note, thank you all for tuning in. I'll see you all next week and, hopefully come up with some kind of fun thing to do. So, appreciate y'all. I'm going to keep doing this as long as you guys want to see it. So, keep letting me know and send in any kind of requests or questions in the comments, and I'll check them out. I will respond to them. Thanks a lot, guys. We'll see you next week.